All right, hello everybody. My name is and welcome to this thing. Yep, welcome to the Heroes Online podcast, and I have a very special guest here with me today. Okay, hello, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome. This
Awesome. Hey,
this
how's it going?
this is Mystic. If you don't know him, he is somewhat of a I don't know. I think he's a janitor for art. No, he's
I'm a
one of the
modeler.
devs. He's one of the He's a modeler dev for art on Heroes Online and Shinobi. Now, I'm not going to ask you any questions on Shinobi because I'm assuming that's like a secret project you guys are working on. You don't want to give too many details away on that.
Yeah, so most of my work has actually been in Shinobi, and then Heroes Online was more of a recent thing. I think it was around the Halloween update. Actually, that's when I first started working on
Oh, okay.
Heroes Online.
Which Halloween update would that be? The one with the skeleton or the original one, the pumpkin one?
Oh no, it was just the last year one, 2019. So I did this Skeleton King, and I did
I
what
saw
was it? I try.
a lot of people were happy with that skeleton thing. That was really good.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thanks. I also did some like piles of bones that were decorating the place. Like if you wandered around Hosu City, there was some just piles of bones around the place and all that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did have
Um.
yeah.
So what along what how did you and Ark meet? I guess we should first say how did you and Ark meet?
All right. So what happened was I wasn't in the Discord to start with, but my friend Jim in 232, he was looking around for different jobs around the place. He's a
Hmm.
modeler as well, and he's also a scripter. He's a better
You,
scripter than I am, that's
there
for
wasn't
sure.
no you guys weren't a couple. It wasn't like that, was it? Hmm.
So no, it's like G-Man was saying, "Oh, there's a job available. Arkham's looking for some modelers for Heroes Online." I'd seen the game on the front page, but I hadn't actually played it at this point. So I just messaged Arkham. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm a modeler. Here's some of the stuff I can do." He said, "Okay, but can you do this?" And then what he did, he sent me a picture of the tailed beasts from Naruto, and they were harder than
Oh, so
anything I'd ever done. So I said,
okay.
you know what? I'll give it a try. I'll try to
I'll
do
give
one
it a
of them,
try.
and
Don't. I'll give it a good old try.
yeah. Anyway, but I did it. He gave me lots of feedback, like make it a bit fatter, make the tail straighter,
Okay.
texture it, do that kind of stuff. And then and nothing happened for about a month. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then he came back and he wanted more. So it just kept going from there, really.
And I'm guessing that's how it sort of started.
Yeah, that's the start point. I
Nah.
made
So
one of the tail beasts.
when he asked you, let's just say for the Halloween update, what got you inspired to do the skeleton? Was that like what he asked you? Like what was the
All right.
inspiration for the skeletal king? Like because I know there's like a whole
So
bunch of Halloween themed monsters you could choose from, but like why
yeah.
skeleton?
So he come up with the idea of a skeleton king, but he sent me two pictures. He sent me a really simple one, like it looks like from I don't know a PS1 game or something, and then he sent another one that was more like flat out, full on geometry and super detailed. And he said make one halfway in between these two. so so I sort of had to get a bit creative and make one that was a fair bit detailed, but not too detailed because it's for Roblox in the end. So he just said make one halfway between these two. I already had a head model. It was actually for a robot I made, but I resculpted it. Sorry, I sculpted it back into like a skull, and then I made all the bones and I made put some armor on it, and he actually originally were going to also make a Grim Reaper model, so I made that and the Skeleton King. But then in the end, we just went with the Skeleton King only.
How now
And yeah, the Grim Reaper.
how long did the process for all that take?
It was actually in a rush, so it was done within the week, but it was like like I don't know, 5 or 6 hours a day because I was actually doing classes during the week, so yeah, I sort of had to get home and work late and do it and try to get some sleep in. But yeah, so it did take probably like 15 hours in total making the Skeleton King, but we also did some variations as well. And he chose that one. That was his favorite. So when I
Oh,
say he, I'm talking about Arkham.
yeah, because I'm like saying what like I saw like the design and I think I actually have the design of the skeletal scythe in my which was I gotta say were you the one who came up with the weapons idea or was that
No,
someone else?
not the scythe. That would have been pumpkin weapons also, and now he's known as the Conway. I didn't do any of the weapons, so I actually made 2 weapons as freebies. I just said, if I'm making these, I'll for Arkham, I'll give him some weapons just as accessories. But he didn't use those. He used the more detailed ones made by, I think it was by Cromlex. Yeah, I asked him about it. He said it was him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But did you make like the models like for the moves? Like I think I'm pressing like I'm using the sights moves right now. Like, did you make those?
I didn't do that's more the animation side of it. If you're talking about the actual attacks,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do those. I do the models, send them to Arkham, and then he puts them into the game.
Oh, okay. Because like I gotta say, those things came out really well. Like I could tell like you guys put a lot of work into that. Like the bosses and events, people really enjoyed doing those.
Yeah, good then. I'm glad people enjoyed them.
I'm like, and like, I also want to point out, like, with people who are wondering why my character looks like this, I'm not gonna lie, I was recording a previous video for this, where,
Yeah.
I can't really say right now, which was, my curiosity was if we could do dungeons with just combat only and see how well that came out. And I gotta say, it might be possible. Speaking
Yeah.
of dungeons, were you involved in the making of dungeons at all?
I did. So I think a lot of those dungeons were made by like as a competition, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
So
I have a
Arkham
friend
wanted people to make.
I remember I have a friend named Salmon who did like what was it the very first level of the villain area in
Yeah.
Dungeons, the ice one.
So a lot of it was made by different people. You can actually see their names as well, credited.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the camera in the right position, you can see it like hidden behind tombstones.
Or just on giant plaque of ice.
Yeah. I made Aries' hair. I think that was it.
Oh
so
yeah.
So when you're doing the Save Eri mission, her hair model, you
Mm-hmm.
can't really see it very well because it's like
You can't really see it very well when Overhaul is just beating you constantly over and over.
Yeah, but I spent a good like 4 hours, mate. Because the hair models are pretty hard, or they're not hard like technical, but they just take a long time. You have to make lots and lots of hair.
A lot of people, from what I remember, assume that you guys would just reuse the same model as you have in like, was it the hair selection in the main menu? But like knowing that you guys had to make a whole new hair for her, that's pretty impressive. Because I'm assuming, like, I take modeling as well, and I understand when you say with modeling, it must have taken a long time to get the proportions at least right.
Yeah, because she also has a pretty it's like she has a messy hairstyle.
She's also pretty short. She's pretty short too.
So I modeled it for a block torso, so I made it so that the hair parts either side of the torso, but that was it. I didn't really worry about the rest of the body, like the size of it. I think she's a block rig anyway, so I just made the hair to part over the torso, and that's all I had to worry about really. But it is pretty long hairstyle, like it goes down near her hips, I think. And yeah, it's pretty messy, so you can't just make one side and mirror image it like I do with a lot of them. You have to sort of mess them up a bit and make it.
Oh yeah, because I remembered, and this is from my own like experience with that kind of stuff. With what is it? With whenever you're like doing modeling, is you have to first create the model, and like when my class anyway, when we did like character modeling, the way we did was we got the base model that they provided us. Then we had to make the muscles. You had to make the muscles over that, and then you had to sort of carve in the details of the muscles. Then you had to like make the skin around it, and then you would make the clothes around it, which sort of would help make it look smoother and nicer. And I'm assuming like with all like especially if you're doing Roblox, it must be much harder because like there's not a lot of ways you can really model in Roblox. So with that hair, how long was the process? Like how many days do you think you took and hours did you spend on that just alone?
Oh, the hair it was done in one night. It was just 4 hours, but that was 4 continuous hours with no breaks. So it's still a long haul for one mesh.
Just like wait, so like no breaks whatsoever?
I'm good at going long without any breaks, so I just
I'm like the reason I asked that is because like I know people in chat anyway who would usually say like Arkham is just not doing anything. He's just like it shouldn't take this long to update the game. And like I'm assuming that the reason you guys it takes because I've seen how well Ark details this game. I've seen how well like he actually details. And like I remember I used to talk to Richard or the Dark Arts on like this, and like you guys don't rush through it like with other kinds of games. You guys actually take your time.
Yeah, so I've had some models that I sent to Arkham, he says change this bit. I do that. I send it back. He says no, change this bit. So I get lots of feedback from him and do lots of fixes. It's actually pretty rare that I send something to him and he
That he
says
doesn't
yes,
know.
it's good for the game.
It's pretty rare if I send something to him and he says, "This is shit. Get it out of here."
No, it's pretty rare that he says yes straight away. It's more like
because like he wants to make sure it's actually take his time with it.
Yeah, like even with the manifest quirk, with the when you do the spinny tentacles that go
the spinny tentacles,
the awakening,
yeah.
I made 5 or 6 versions of it, and then he picked one that he said was most suitable for Roblox. Like
because
there's a lot to go into it.
There is a lot of. I think I once talked to Ark and Richard about this. Was Roblox? If I remember you guys telling me, it's like there's some issues with it and with the things that you're trying to make. So there's like you need to redo some stuff. And I remember I talked to Richard one time saying the reason Mount Lady's quirk isn't in this game is because there's some sort of resizing issue, or like there's sometimes bugs with trying to resize models.
Yeah, one of the main problems I have is there's a limit on when I import a mesh. So if I make a mesh, there's a resolution limit, and it's 10,000 triangles. Now let me just grab the calculator here. 10,000 divided by 12, so that's the equivalent of 833 blocks.
And what program are you using this for? Are you using I use when in my classes we would use a program called Maya. I'm assuming you use Blender.
I use Maya, yeah. Blender's getting pretty good recently, but
Maya is just more reliable from what I know of. It's much easier to understand for beginners, or it's much easier to handle too.
Well, it's not just that. It's also I've spent so much time refining how I sculpt things in Maya. It's like my paintbrush, So it's
pretty
like
much,
an artist has a paintbrush. Yeah.
It's like also with have you ever used Maya Mudbox too? That's what I use for character models.
Hang on. I've used an online Autodesk character generator, but
that's actually smarter. That's actually smarter because then you already have the thing for it.
It comes all rigged and everything, so you go through it. It's like when you do character modifications in video games. It's really straightforward. Then you just click export, and it gives you like a character model. But I can't use those for Roblox. They're way over the resolution limit. So when I make something, I have to make sure it's low poly, but still looks pretty detailed. Like when all the tentacle arms come out.
How many triangles was that for that thing?
That was like 9,900. That was like 99% the limit or something. That was really hard to get because I had to have like
that many
tentacles, and they had to be all curved and they had to look smooth. And it was actually really tough to get that many tentacles under the limit. So I ended up like 99% of the limit or something.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure, and this is just my own opinion. I'm guessing is that I think a lot of people might have thought that you guys would just import these because there's some tentacle models on Roblox and then you just edit them. But to know that you guys actually took all that time to just actually code in, model everything, because I'm assuming the reason it took so long was because you were refining all those tentacles.
Yeah. See, the tentacles did take a little bit of time. They weren't too bad, but yeah, we do make them ourselves for sure.
Yeah. Because I remember when Overhaul first came out. I think I was the first one, and I would always joke with Richard saying, "Man, I really love the giant polygon move where you summon just the polygons one by one, the polygon tentacles."
Yeah.
The giant what is it? It was the one where if I can find the quirk, it's the one where you just shoot out. What are they called? The cylinders. It's just cylinders that just shoot straight out. I was that was my favorite one I think out of it because I'm assuming with Manifest just to say that you got there's so many things you could have done with that guy's quirk and you guys did a really good job with it blocking wise.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. How long do you think you with the month wise? How long did you go from beginning on this project with the Manifest, the end of it?
I think the Manifest was another slightly urgent thing. It wasn't as urgent as the Halloween update because Halloween happens on one day. You can't just but I think the Manifest was still kind of rushed. So I got it done within about a week, I think, but that was still lots of hours. Also made some other things. I think it was around that same time I made Aries' hair as well. So even though that appeared way later in the dungeons, I actually made that. I did make a few other things which haven't been released yet, so I can't say. But So I made most of the tentacles, and that took over a week. But there were obviously, oh, sorry, about a week. But there were, gaps where I had free time. Obviously, I wasn't non-stop modeling the whole time.
I
I
guess I
certainly
should
wouldn't
ask this
claim that.
question too because I guess a lot of people would want to know how much free time do you think you spent on this and actually working? I'm assuming, like from what you told me earlier, there was little free time you actually did have when on working on this.
Well, so when a big event's coming out,
Mm.
we don't. I don't really get free time during that time, or I can if I want to. Obviously, Arkham goes to. He's in UK, so he goes to bed at
Yeah, because
a different time. So
that's
then,
like
yeah,
a lot of people are wondering, hey Ark, what's taking so long? And I'm like saying, I remember Ark telling me once he lives somewhere around in Europe or somewhere about that, so his time zone for us is very different.
yeah. So what happens is like he'll give me some jobs. I do some. He gives me feedback. I could fix it up. He also gives jobs to other developers as well. So we don't. It's not just like one person does everything. We sort of share it around. So during like a big event, it's pretty more intense. But otherwise, it's sometimes I go weeks without making anything, or sometimes I go just days without making anything. It varies a lot. It's really if there's an event coming on, we are really really working hard, and yeah. Otherwise, it's more just shared around a bit. So yeah, I'd say the workload varies, but I do get enough time to do my own things as well, like
Is it like
go outside.
I don't want like to sound rude with this one, but like is the work divided evenly? I'm pretty sure the way like I've seen how Ark's a nice dude. I'm assuming he divides
Hmm.
the work evenly between all of you.
I don't. I'm assuming so. I don't even know how much work the other
He just
people
puts
get.
you. You're the new guy. You got to do all the work, boy.
Oh, except no more recently. We've been talking more with each other. Like,
Yeah, that's like
um,
feedback is always a good thing. Like I know for some creators out there, I don't like this is my personally. I wanted to just bring this up because like I love to tease these guys. Is that let's just say for instance the Cerebros like from the way their games are going and if you know what I mean, is that there's
yeah,
probably not a lot of feedback between them and their creators. But like from what I've seen,
yeah.
feedback is mostly the key to make like good games. And like from the way you're telling me, Arkia, I know he's great at feedback. He's great at feedback. He always wants to make sure everything's 100%.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you spend ages modeling something, this happens mostly with organic models like animals. If you spend ages and ages modeling it, then you don't have a fresh perspective. So if something doesn't look right, you don't know. What happens is if you show someone else, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, make this bigger, make this smaller." Or if you take a day break from it, then
Mm.
you come back to it, you can look at it with fresh eyes and be like, "Oh yeah, this needs fixing," or that needs changing. But when you're actually physically modeling it, in one big session, you don't actually notice what's wrong with it. Like one particular animal model, I made the head was really tall, and it looked really weird, like really goofy. I didn't notice it when I was
And it
making
was
it, and
not a
then later on,
giraffe. If I'm assuming it wasn't a giraffe,
no,
right?
it wasn't the neck. It was the head. It was one of the things in Shinobi I did recently. I don't know if I can
Yeah,
say,
you don't have to
but
say. You don't
anyway,
have to say. You don't have to
anyway, basically the head I made it look really weird and goofy. And then I came back to it a day later. I was like, oh, I just changed the height of it, and it looked so much more realistic because I didn't know that at the time because you're not looking at it with fresh eyes. So, but feedback from other people does the same
say.
thing.
Yeah,
They can pick up on the things you didn't notice when you're making it.
yeah. I think at
Yeah.
one time I did talk with. This was when I'm talking with like Richard or the Dark Arts. One time we did, and I asked him, Richard, what like why were there for example aren't there more courts? Like I think he one time told me, and I think we talked about this in the podcast earlier was like Roblox issues and things like that, but also like first you guys are trying to figure out what moves to give some courts. Like I don't really know if I can really say this yet, but like to say for some courts let's just say Froggy's court, the frog girl. How do what kind of moves would you even give that? Because I'm assuming the way it's being worked out is you guys are waiting in that manga for how they're actually going to show the stuff. Because I know, like, for some characters, they don't really show a lot of moves. They just show that character once, and they don't really show their moves. And I know, like, for some quirks
Yeah.
that a lot of people do like, what kind of stuff would you even give to that? Because, for one instance would be, let's just say Gran Torino's quirk, for example. He's a great character, but what kind of moves would you even give a guy like that? Like we don't really see him a lot. We don't really know his full potential. So what moves would he actually really have?
Yeah, well, Arkham does most of the decisions on that. But what happens is, like, he'd send me some screenshots. Sometimes he'd ask, like, what could we do for? Like, he's asking us, what should we do for Shinobi?
What can
Like,
we do? What can we do? Like, let's just say, for example, when he first asked you about Manifest, what can we do for Manifest?
all right, so well, he found a reference video. I had to look through it. He showed me, the big chicken foot and asked me to make it, and
The
and
giant
also showed me the
chicken foot.
yeah, that was pretty fun to make. And also like the tentacles, he said, make some. He came up with a lot of his own ideas. Like I think the actual shapes of the tentacles were a bit different to what you see in the anime. It was just his own creativity in there. However, one thing we almost missed was actually the mask. Believe it or not, the Kraken mask.
Oh yeah, the Kraken mask.
Like
I don't think I bought that yet, but yeah. Did you make that?
Yeah, I made it. So, but it was like a last minute thing because Arkham's like, "Oh, we nearly missed it. we have to quickly get it done." So I had to
get it done, or they're gonna ask me.
Try to whip
get it done in there
before the big update.
A lot of people thought that was Kamui's mask, the wooden guy.
I made it from scratch.
Because I'm assuming for like Kamui, if you want to say like with like let's just say like Pixie Boss, like I'm pretty sure you've seen the box of her. That she basically just has the ice skill, but just reskin. And a lot of people sometimes wonder why don't you guys just add her quirk in there if it's already added in
there. Yeah, I don't know. Not really sure, but yeah. I think for the mask, I think I only needed when I made it. Arkham wanted the base to be a bit wider because I made it like a mask with a pointy chin, so we wanted a bit wider to fit onto the Roblox head.
I remember. I don't know if they came out like that. If you like then brought that up, I remember it wasn't. It like had it looked like you guys made it so it would actually fill out the face. The Roblox things.
So that was Arkham's idea.
Like it
was going to go on. Yeah, thanks. He knew it was going to go into Roblox head, so that's to try to be less realistic, but more fit into Roblox. So that's one thing we have to do. We have to we want to make something that looks good, have a certain amount of realism, but then it has to fit onto a Roblox avatar. So that's quite a challenge to try to find the balance between the two.
And then a lot of the stuff with Roblox and the issues with it being sometimes either buggy or some of the things that you want to add but can't because of the limitations. Because Roblox isn't the greatest engine sometimes to like put big stuff on. Which was this was a funny story. This was when me, Ark, and I think Richard I jumped into when I first early met them was like Richard was they were messing around with the resizing options and this was I think the picture of it was in early development in the Discord somewhere. But we all took a picture. We were just all big fat Roblox characters just grown in size, about the size of the trees in the forest. The problem was whenever someone would dash, they would usually fall over and then die. So I could see why they went at quirks like that into the game. I could see why some of the issues like that are there.
Yeah, a lot of the time you don't even know what issues you're going to get until you try it out.
Then and then even when you do, then later down the line you find out, hey, there's something wrong with it. I'm not assuming you guys still, and I probably know you guys are still working on Heroes Online. You guys just want to try some other stuff, and I totally get that. And
yeah, I understand there are still bugs going on in Heroes Online. It's a matter of just prioritizing work, I guess. And at the moment we have momentum in Shinobi Bloodlines, so we're sort of just sticking to that.
Shinobi, I'm gonna. That game is probably gonna be. That game's gonna be probably as popular as Heroes Online video. How good this game was and the reaction to people, you guys will probably get a lot of hatred from the people. I was just saying because they were usually the people who were in charge of Naruto back in the day. You guys still were ideals.
It is fun. I can say that much. It is fun. It has the fun element already. So we have that at least. But it's gonna I haven't even seen all of it anyway, but I've only seen bits I've made and some other extra bits, but it definitely is fun. I can guarantee that.
Is it now I guess I want to ask one question. Am I gonna this is just for Shinobi, you don't have to answer. Is it possible for me to be a kitsune. I want to know if I can give me my 9 tailed claws. I'm not asking to be a furry. I just want to know if I can. Yeah, I want to have that beast inside me. You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's Arkham's decision, not mine.
I want to have that beast inside me, sealed my chakra points.
Yeah, that's up to Arkham, not me. So,
A
well, I
lot
mean,
of
we can still, yeah.
what was okay, so I guess this should be now asked for future developments that you guys want to do Heroes Online. Well, if you could add you have you seen the manga of Heroes Online or read it?
I've this has been embarrassing. I haven't seen much of the My Hero Academia yet.
Oh
I
my
I have
god.
to go through. Yeah, that's.
If
But the
if
thing
Ark
is
if
I've,
Ark is watching Ark, it's home. This is his homework. He has to watch all of it. He has to read all the chapters.
okay. Now I've been tackling modeling and also university as well. So I'm doing 2
Yep.
university degrees at the
Yeah.
same time.
So I
So
think
I haven't
that's
had time to watch stuff like watch movies or watch shows or whatever.
you're not watching movies in the when this whole world when the world's under quarantine. What's wrong with you, Mister? What? This man is risking his life out there, people. He's risking his life. He's risking his life. He's trying to get some stuff down.
Hmm. Sorry, I missed that bit. Sorry, say that again.
You're going to university, brother. You're going straight to school, and we're all supposed to be in quarantine. This man's a hero.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm doing university online. I'm doing it online at the moment, but that kind of makes it harder in a way.
Yeah, I guess I've done university. I mean, the online classes are the worst ever.
One of my. Yeah.
I'm
So you go.
I'm already in my summer vacation. Like I think we finished maybe in March because I only had 3 classes, so I didn't really have a lot to do. And we were already almost. I was at the very end. I had public speaking, so we just had to give one more speech. We were doing our digital media project, and we just finished that. And then another thing was just like a theater final. So we didn't really have much to do after that. And then the one thing I found with online classes was you don't have that same interaction you do with your professors.
Yeah, that's for sure. And sometimes the teacher's internet can cut out, and then you don't hear what they're saying. That's always fun. Like in my Japanese class, the teacher sometimes just goes really crackly and all robotic, and it just sounds like.
That's the thing.
It sounds like that for a bit.
Things. Yeah.
So that happened. Yeah. That's the teacher's internet doing that. But he can't do much about it really. That's the thing. We just have to put up with it.
Oh man, I remember. This is I guess a funny story I can comment on. I guess a funny story I could comment on, and I just got in the chat. Ark did ask who was Mystic. I don't know why.
Yeah, when was that?
He's just weird all the time. I guess I could ask with online classes. A funny story was my professor, our online class. You know what is it called? What is it called that people use? I'm trying to remember. I think
Zoom.
Zoom. That piece of shit. Apparently ours got hacked, so all of our stuff was pushed back for another week. Very most. Then my whole server went down and they had to reset everything. Which oh my god, it's a hassle in itself.
Yeah.
It's not that fun if you know what I mean because you have to reset all the passwords to your school account. And my god, I'm not the greatest at remembering if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask: are there any funny raunchy dev stories you want to tell us? You know what I mean? Any funny dev stories between you, Ark, and the other devs? Any little saucy ones?
Not that bad. There are some weird ones, like just Arkham getting stuck under the ground. That's pretty funny when that happens. He looks like a diglet, and you still see the chat popping up above the ground, and he's moving around. He's like, "What's going on here?"
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that sounds hilarious. That really does sound hilarious.
Yeah, there's bound to be more funny stuff. I can't think at the moment.
YouTube.
That one happened recently, though. Yeah, that one just happened recently. You know.
This was I want to ask, was there people I guess we want to ask since manifest is in the game? Did you guys whenever at permeation, which was where I don't know because you guys in the show, it was where one dude would basically go through walls, go through the ground, and stuff like that.
So hang
Was
on.
that ever brought up in the conversation when you guys were making works?
Is that on the? I'm just going to the development page. Is that on the vote? The cremation.
No.
That's
Permeation.
permeation. I miss her. So that one got 1,647 votes, but Dark Shadow got 3,000. So I meshed Dark Shadow. Arkham did say he wanted some changes to it as. Oh, he didn't say which changes. He just said, it's not quite right, but we're gonna.
So you're saying
Shinobi
right?
for now.
So you're saying you guys are working on Dark Shadow. Are we getting a confirmation
Yeah.
on that? We're getting a confirmation on that?
I actually have the entire Dark Shadow model, but Arkham said he wanted it a bit different, but he just said, well, let's not worry about it just yet. It's on the back burner.
I'm just going to say this right now, just for people who were always doubting you guys. You can hear it here first, guys. We have Dark Shadow confirmation. It's confirmed. It's confirmed. You don't need to complain about it anymore.
Yeah.
People would always, I remember in chat, people were always saying, "Where's Dark Shadow? Where's Dark Shadow? Where is it? Where?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've got the head, the body, the arms.
I'm gonna ask a really quick question with that one because this is my interesting fact with that and how the character uses it. Is it gonna be able to become more powerful as like I know in the game of Heroes Online there's a day-night cycle, so will that have any part to play?
So there was a vote for that as well. Hang on, wait, is it in the Heroes Online? I'll have to find it.
Because there is a, I would like that to be, that probably isn't going to be a thing. It would be an interesting concept to have like a day-night cycle in for a court.
All right, yeah, I've got confirmation. Yes, it does become more powerful in the night.
Yeah,
so
you heard it.
A lot of people are suggesting it.
You got day-night cycle, and Dark Shadow is confirmed.
Yeah, so it does become more powerful in the night. I can confirm that.
Yes, that's confirmed, boys. I also want, if that is confirmed, I really want to just be really low and shitty in the day. We're gonna have it like Escanor, but reversed. He becomes more powerful as the moon goes up instead of the sun.
Oh, that's trippy.
I remember. Well, I'm gonna ask, what was your favorite anime or manga? If you ever read those as a kid.
Let me think. So sentimentally, I like Pokemon a lot and the movies. However, I haven't seen all the.
I remember.
Yeah, I know. I haven't stuck with all the episodes.
I'm not like it's nothing like that. It's like I remember a lot of people would consider Pokemon an actually considered an anime when it actually is. There is manga of it if you can find.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I have to say Death Note honestly would be like my favorite. Yeah. Like it's one that's gripped me all the way through, and has very little cringe in it, which is good because I like Tokyo Ghoul a lot, but that has a lot of cringe in it. Honestly.
Someone did ask in chat, what other games do you play instead of Roblox? If you play any other games.
Me. All right. So I'm right into Ratchet and Clank. I actually have my own. Not to advertise or anything, but I have my own Ratchet and Clank group on Roblox. So, and I'm into Spyro, like especially the older ones. No Man's Sky, that had a really bad rating at first, but it's picked up again. We get the memes
of No Man's Sky in chat. And we get the memes of that. There'll be black holes. You can live on a meteor. Just the many memes of that.
You can go into the black holes, but it wrecks your
ship. They actually added that now.
Yeah, they teleport you close to the center of the galaxy.
Because I watched a video recently. It was like them explaining No Man's Sky and how the creator and actual director of the whole game did not know anything about PR, so he just did a bunch of random bullshit.
So what happened? It was one of those cases where they had a small development team.
Yeah. They had a small development team.
So many things to get done. They already delayed the game by a few months, I think, and they were getting death threats by people because they were angry.
Interesting fact about that I remember was, this is actually really interesting. They were working really hard on it, but they went on a vacation, all of them. Then there was a flood that hit the area. It flooded their office. Luckily, they didn't do anything. That was another reason why it was pushed back.
I didn't actually know about that.
And nature was intentionally trying to tell these people, delay the game.
Yeah, so they'll try. Everyone was pressuring them to get it done early, but once they did try to release it as soon as they could, they said, "Okay, it's not finished. We're a small team. Like the Grand Theft Auto team was over 1,000, and here you have 8 people working on a game, much smaller number, right? So they have lots of pressure to get it done. They just release it anyway. It's delayed a bit, but they release it. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's not finished. Bad ratings, thumbs down." So it's like you can't win. I've seen a little bit of that in the Heroes Online, not much, just a little bit. Like there's
Yeah,
pressure to
people.
get something done
Yeah,
early, and if it is done a bit early, or
if
not
it's
not a
done
bit early, but
early,
yeah,
it's gonna be crap. That's the general consensus of it. And that's why I try to tell people even in the Heroes Online Discord is you guys got to realize, like, what I think we talked about this earlier in the podcast. Like, it takes them a long bit of time because they really do want to make sure that this game's perfect and it's actually working
yeah.
correctly. You guys got to understand, like, it takes Mystic here doesn't take breaks. He's a guy who actually gets he works hard like all the other devs, and they don't take breaks. Like they stick to their work.
Yeah, it's all about finding a balance between are you going to delay it a bit longer, or are you just going to release it not completely
And
finished? And it's all
honestly, delaying a game is actually the much wiser choice than trying to rush it because then you're gonna have more bugs. You're gonna need to figure out much more complicated things, and then it's just
hmm.
gonna become a pile of just not dog dookie.
So that's why at the moment a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the game's dead."
The
I've been
game's
seeing
not
that
being
all
worked
through.
on.
It's
The
because
game's shit.
we have a big workload and we're going through it,
And like
and
I'm
yeah.
assuming also that I don't know like if you or Ark are doing your finals yet or if you already finished finals. Because you guys have told me you're in university and I'm assuming you guys are already doing finals or you're finishing them right up.
I'm in my exam study period right now. So, sorry, yeah, I'm in my study week. What's going to start tomorrow because tomorrow is Monday in Australia.
Oh,
So
you're in
I have a week to
Australia?
study. Yeah, I'm in Australia. Couldn't you tell?
I want to ask though about Australia though. Is it true that you
Okay,
guys
fine.
have pet kangaroos? Is this a fact?
No, no, no.
I think this
So
is a
I'm
fact and
actually,
you're lying to me.
um,
Where you hiding the
some
jelly?
okay. So like if you get a stray dog, or if you see a stray dog, you might feed it food and it comes back. You can call it a pet when it's not really a pet. Some people do that with animals like kangaroos or whatever,
Oh
but
my
it's not a
god.
common thing. It's not a common thing to have kangaroos as a pet. That's just like a
Yeah,
misconception.
I'm assuming that they would just beat the living hell out of you.
Oh yeah, the way I describe kangaroos, they're like gangsters, right? So if you're
The
nice to them,
gangsters
if
of the wild.
they are. If
So
you're nice to
basically,
them,
you're
like,
saying Kangaroo Jack, the American film, is the real interpretation of the Australian Wildback, and that they rap.
well, if you show that you respect them, they're okay, they're chill, they're cool. But if you get on their wrong
Oh,
side, they can beat the heck out of you. So
so it's
that's
like
what kangaroos are
gorillas. You
like.
have to bow down to them and show them your underbelly.
Yeah, to a certain degree. They can get pretty tall, and their kicking power is pretty darn strong
I
as well. So
remember reading this about Australia. This is like apparently koalas are very dangerous creatures.
they are called drop bears to scare tourists. That's just a joke.
Oh yeah, because I remember like something about a koala murdering a group of people or something
No,
like
it's
that. There was like a legend I know. There was a story about that. I remember that. Like
no. So they're called drop bears, and the idea is that if a tourist comes, the koala's gonna drop on them and kill them.
oh,
That's just to
that's
scare
where yeah.
tourists. I think if I remember correctly, that's what it is.
we're
It's
gonna
just
we're
to
yeah,
yeah. I
koalas.
have a funny story. I have a funny story actually. My mum had a friend from the USA come over, and my mum said to the American friend, that she has to eat a Vegemite sandwich on the plane, and if she doesn't eat the Vegemite sandwich, then her American accent won't go. So she said that the Vegemite will make your accent change to Australian, which is making up.
Just
It's
take
not
these
right. It's not
Vegemites,
correct.
man. It's gonna make your
But
life
then she
wild.
then she said if you don't get the Vegemite sandwich on the plane and you still have American accent, you get killed. And that was just a joke. But she took it seriously. So when the American visitor was on the plane, she was asking all the flight attendants for
Where's my
Vegemite
Vegemite?
sandwiches, and she was panicking. She didn't want to get killed, but it was just it's just a joke. She took it too seriously. That's all.
Or she mad when did your mom tell me joke?
Yeah, and then they were asking all the flight attendants for Vegemite, and They had no idea why.
Like they're just asking, American Vegemites. Just a sandwich. It's not even that good. It's not even that good.
It's pretty gross. Or it's, I mean, I used to have it as a kid, but it's like, nah,
What is a
rather not.
Vegemite? Is it just like a very dry, like salad sandwich? I'm assuming.
Oh, Vegemite is a spread, and it's like black or like really dark brown or something.
What is a
You just put it on
spread?
toast.
Oh,
You put it
it's
on.
like okay, it's like deli.
It's like butter or Nutella or any of that kind of thing, but it's just really really strong taste. It's so hard to describe because there's nothing like it.
I guess
So yeah, we're talking about Vegemite right now. That's pretty
Vegemite.
exciting.
Oh my god, you guys! I don't know if we can say this for Shinobi Bloodline, but please, Ark, if you're adding food in that game, add Vegemites, and then and then you need to add killer koalas that can only be stopped by Vegemites.
That's a good idea.
And just say, listen, this Vegemite will give you a buff. It gives you koala immunity or killer tree topper immunity. And then
Yeah.
if you go into a certain area with those things, it will murder you.
Yeah. Maybe even a koala. Sorry, a drop bear quirk. That'd be cool. So you
Oh my
just like
god.
shoot a
Oh my god,
koala
yeah,
at an
yeah.
enemy.
I guess like another thing was in I guess for like to go back to Heroes Online was I think you told me you worked on the skeleton. Were there any other ideas for like monsters for Halloween that you thought of?
Oh yeah, yeah. So the original idea. There's going to be like a little skeleton, not a king, just a skeleton dude
Oh,
with some
skeleton
armor.
armor.
And
Armor.
he's gonna be a crony that just runs around or something, or like that,
Oh,
yeah.
sort of
And then
like
there's gonna be like the
you guys setting up a lore. Like as soon as like the Halloween night got captured by the heroes, then his cronies, the skeleton army, were going after to free him. But of course,
and the
that's
Grim
just a game.
Reapers.
That's just a theory. Thoughts.
I don't know. It's just we're gonna have like little skeleton dudes, and then like a Grim Reaper. But then it just got changed, I guess. I don't really know exactly what happened. Like I made the skeleton
I'm assuming. I'm hoping
cronies.
for next year's Halloween. If you guys get to that, it would be pretty interesting. The mummy and like have
Yeah.
an area of effect move. He touches the ground and just turns to sand, and it's like quicksand. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I only noticed recently when you use the Skeleton King, all the trees nearby die. Like I only just noticed that
Yeah,
recently.
it's
That's
like
something
I think
Arkham
it's
made,
the
but
cemento. It's like a cement effect where like I think the cement quirk. If you touch an area, it goes. It actually returns. That's I think that's one of my actual favorite things about this game is it actually feels real because you're touching a thing in the game and it changes. So like I guess an example would be with like All for One or any of the OFA quirks is that you're actually using it on in-game environment and it actually breaks apart something. It makes it feel like you're actually interacting with the environment and adds real weight to the game, which in my book is pretty good, especially for Roblox. Since
yeah,
that actually feels like it's innovating. I wouldn't say
yeah.
innovating, but
Well,
more of like it's. I don't think in rare cases of games on Roblox anyway, I haven't seen real world environment interaction.
yeah, you get realistic showcases, but they're usually really basically scripted. Like you get realistic trees and lighting, but you can't really
Mm-hmm.
do much with it. You just walk through it. They still look great, but
They still look
yeah,
great,
Heroes
yeah.
Online is really very
It's
detailed
very
under
detailed
the
for like
ground, like under for
even
the
like
things you
underground,
can't see. It's really detailed.
even
Sorry, you go.
under yeah no yeah like even underground stuff like that. Other things would be I'm surprised that for one thing shoot style. Let's talk with OFA would be or all one for all. That is a very detailed and really well thought out. Like it actually looks and feels like it does in the show. And not gonna
Yeah.
lie, this was something I think I talked to Art a really long time ago. I don't know if he actually does. There was a point in I played Heroes of One Justice the My Hero Academia game, and when I
Hmm.
got Endeavor, his super move was basically a Hellfire Ball with flames in it, and it would basically burn his enemy. And that
Uh,
actually looks really similar to how Flame work in the game, and it actually does work like he does even in like the sequel to the game. Arc did a really good job to a point where these moves and work and feel like they do in another video game that's not even related to this one, but it's just like an actual official My Hero game on the Switch you can get. It feels and works
Hmm.
exactly like that. I don't know if it's that aspect that makes people like this game, but it feels like that because there's some matter of detail to like where yeah, if I'm using AFO and stealing somebody's quirk, being able to copy it and do something like that, there's a matter of weight to that where I feel like, yeah, I am this character. I am working like the way this character in the show would be. I'm using his quirk as it would be too. Not like being,
Yeah.
not being like Deku, who's just like, I want to save the world, All Might. I'm just talking about like I'm using OFA the way it feels like it gives me a speed boost like it does in the show. It just makes me feel a lot more comfortable with that.
Yeah, another part of the immersive experience in good games is if you can choose what you do. Like you don't just have one storyline to pick. If you can actually choose which team you're on, which quirks you get, customization is
Oh
really a
yeah.
good way to get yourself immersed in the
Unless you're the
games. That's
Unless you're the Cerebros who did do a customization game of Plus Ultra 2. I'm not. This is like a bit off tangent, but I guess I could say I played that game. Oh my god, it was bad because it's basically you customize your own quirk. For people who don't even know what that means, who haven't seen the show, they have the things like
hmm,
emitter, physical, or stuff like that. What the fuck does that even mean? They don't give you any instructions. I could have moved for half of it, and I'm not gonna lie when I say this. It looked like an alpha version of a game. Well, not even a game, just like the alpha build. And it because like they expect you to make your own moves and everything. They don't give you any
hmm,
instructions, and it was oh
hmm.
my god, it was not immersive at all. They're like I guess this is why I like how Ark does his games is he doesn't advertise this stuff like other people would do. Makes it nice and simple, down to the point. Let's just say with Cerebros instantly, there were so many billboards of their other games. Like they were saying, yeah, this game's bad. You should play these good games. You should play these good games instead, bro. Spend your money here. It's like you could
Yeah,
see
probably.
that there's so many advertisements. It was just God. It wasn't immersive at all. It was annoying.
I probably shouldn't say too much about Caro Bros though.
I mean, I'll say it. They're just I don't care. I'm like I. You have any other ideas you want to try for Heroes Online? Like, are there any things you?
Yeah.
I guess we can get into this
Um.
side. Would you? What do you think of the community of the Heroes Online? Like, if you've been on the Discord, what do you like? And I guess I can also ask you, what do you dislike?
So, well, that's a big question. See,
You
what
can
do I
answer.
like? Well,
What do you
there's a
like
good
most?
variety.
What do you
There's a
like
good
most
variety
about
of
the other?
people.
Yeah, there's a good variety of people. What do you like
Um,
most?
and it's like it's cool to be a nerd here. Like most of us are nerds or anime weebs, and it's cool to be it. We're not
Hmm.
sort of not bullied for it. I mean, there is a bit of joking and mocking
Yeah,
and all that, but
but you gotta
it's
remember this is like
overall you can be yourself here,
yeah. I don't want to like just
and
say this anymore, but guys, it's mostly filled with people who are like Roblox. I don't want to say kids, but most people who like are into Roblox or like play it a lot.
yeah, I think it's a safe enough environment for those that are really passionate about
Hmm.
things like anime
There's
and manga. You can
there's
just
not a
talk
lot
about it,
of
and there's so many people that are into it as
yeah.
well. So we can all just be one big community. Yeah. So that's what I say. That's what I really like about it the
I
most.
guess someone did ask me this in chat. Are there any ideas that you thought were too ambitious?
Hang on, say that again.
Were there any ideas that you thought that you and the dev team were doing that were too ambitious? I guess would say, was there a point when when you were making the manifest work that you thought, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get this done. This is way too much. Oh no. And if you did, how did you
Uh,
overcome that?
I don't think so, honestly. I mean,
Like modeling is
I would.
modeling in itself is a very I love modeling. There's some points where I'm like, good God, just please work with me, program. Work with me. Stop
Yeah,
crashing.
I mean, I've made some things before that Icom just said no. Give it to Cromlex and he'll do it. Like the hardening quirk when you have the
The details in that I'm assuming were very hard to do because I saw like a lot of it looked like it was real rock edges.
Yeah, so I actually tried to make that first, and then it just didn't look right. I tried to, I really tried. I got lots of things, lots of detail, and then it just looked too much like a bunch of sticks, stacked together or something.
A
It
bunch
really
of.
did look like a
It didn't look like a
look like a
rock.
pile.
Listen, Mystic.
Nah.
Listen. I know you put your heart and soul in this, but it looks like a stick, and I'm going for a rock concept. If you know what I mean, I'm going
Yeah.
for a rock, not a stick.
So then, at that point, what happens is I just say, okay, I don't quite know what to do. Give it to Crumlack. So he did it, and he did it really amazingly.
Yeah, like
So
it came
it's
out really well.
sometimes we swap jobs if
And I
sometimes we
think
just
that's
don't quite know what to do.
that's a really good thing to do because if like you don't want to get too ambitious into one thing and then like when you find out it's not that great, you don't want to have like a whole fit or like cry about it, but like you want to just calm down saying, all right, I tried my best with this. I'm gonna just hand it off to someone else because I don't think I can get this the way that my employer wants it.
So yeah, that's about being realistic and not taking too much pride. Like you have to be able to admit if you can't quite get something right, but someone else can.
Yeah,
You don't
because
be, you don't
this is
you
my
don't
own
get
personal.
aggressive. You don't be too proud about it. You just be like, okay, I don't get
You
it.
don't say
Someone else can do it.
fuck you.
No,
I'm gonna
it's
get
all
like
about
yeah.
professionalism.
It's one of the things that I would like to say was Ark is like really he's a really patient. He knows like
Hmm.
what his team wants and everything. He's really nice to everybody and like, but like he also understands that he's trying to run a business here too. Like if like he sees or someone's arguing with him, he understands that yeah I can't have you with me because I don't think you're gonna be able to. I don't think you're actually gonna be able to. I don't want to say help me, but more along the lines of like I don't think you're the right person I need for this job or like
Yeah.
for this team because he has that nice way of saying you're fired, but not of you're not fired, but like I'm gonna just push you away from this. It was really nice to have you on the team, but I don't think you're ready for this. I don't want to like if you ever need help, I'm still here. If you want to like model again, just contact me when you're a bit better. But he's really nice and calm about his stuff. And like
Yeah.
he like the reason some of these things take long is because he likes to have his game detailed, and there's nothing wrong with that. That makes the game much better, and the outcome of it, even though it's short lived, when people do say like, "Okay, I'm bored of this update. When's the next one?" They got to remember the outcome of they were asking for this update, and I kind it amazes me how people don't realize the amount of hours and months you guys put into this because how long was this? The last update was for this. Is that Jesus? It might have been many months that you guys took for this one. So yeah, I can realize why it took so long because my God, when I saw those models, I realized you guys even put like what was it the suckers on the tentacles? That must have taken a long time
Yeah, I came up with a few versions for the tentacles.
because
In the end,
like
it was
you need to also model. I understand making circles or circular objects. It's not that easy.
yeah. So originally, the suckers were going to be like little circles, physical 3D models, but then the resolution limit was just blown completely. So we have to try to be creative, and because Roblox is really limited for the tentacles,
Yeah,
I had to sort of texture them on, texture the tentacles suckers onto them. Otherwise, we're just going to go way over the limit, and then Roblox would just reject it and not accept it.
yeah, because I like we said this on the podcast. Roblox, you guys know how to model all of the sports and could model them. It's just the Roblox does not really accept some things. Like we talked about this with the resizing issue. We did a thing with me, Ark, and Richard when we did the resizing. It was when people dash, they usually would die immediately, and
Mm.
especially with things like that is then their moves. That's where we can do the move sets.
Yeah. So it's all about trying to learn what it is that Roblox can handle, what works best in Roblox. Because some aspects of Roblox are really good. It's like better than a lot of other engines. Like if you want the kind of Lego low poly blocky kind of feel,
Or like
Roblox is really good at that. Like
with
it's
overhaul.
satisfying to have blocky games. Like I think Minecraft is really popular, partly because it's so
Minecraft.
blocky and it. Yeah, I think no, Minecraft and Roblox are kind of similar in ways because they're low poly and they're blocky, but that's satisfying somehow.
It is. It is.
What is good to have?
It really inspires the
It should,
imagination to like push. what can I make out of a block?
Yeah, and it's I don't know. It's like
That's what I think an aspect of Heroes Online that people like is that let's just say those tentacles. Like I think you did a good job with them again. Look
oh, thank you.
really, really realistic. Those things look really realistic. Curvature, the curves, and like everything
Hmm.
about them look actually like real life. Not real life tentacles, but they look like I could actually see those being tentacles.
Thank you.
And then you got the chicken foot, which looks like this is just me being memeing you, joking around. The chicken foot, which looks like a hexagon with two giant triangles on it, combined with like
Yeah,
a very stretched out cone.
yeah. Well,
It still looks good.
it's
Did
just a matter
you
of finding. Like,
did you
so
make
you
the
go.
clam? Did you make the clam for the manifest?
Yeah, that was one of the few models where when I sent it to Arkham, he was like, "That's good. You don't have to change it." Like
Don't make a
sometimes.
just make a clam. We'll put some smokes effect on it. Just get it out of here.
Yeah, it was no, he was happy with it straight away. So that's like usually like you'd be like change this, change that, so we get some
Yeah, because you don't
good
like
modifications
you
before we
don't need
put it
to
in the
make it
game.
more complicated than it does. Like one of the things I always find when I'm modeling is like I think I talk to my professors about this is that I tend to overthink. So if it looks good immediately, you don't need to don't question yourself. Maybe make some adjustments
Yeah,
here and there. Don't overthink it. Otherwise, then it's gonna look too detailed and then it's not gonna run right.
yeah. Like with the clamshell, I made a sphere. I made a smaller sphere inside of it. I subtracted one from the other, if that makes sense. So it's like you cut it out. So you have a shell. Then I slice it in two. Then I just squished them sideways a bit, and that was it. That's all I had to do. It was only like a couple of steps to make it. So I didn't overcomplicate it, like you're saying, and I just sent it off to him, and he was fine with it.
Yeah, because what about the chicken foot? What did you do for the chicken foot? What did you do for the chicken
um,
foot?
so I made the foot without the actual big black leg bit, and
The
then
big
then
giant
Arkham
stretched
said,
out cone bit.
yeah. So Arkham said, oh yeah, we need it's going to be attached to a leg, and the dimensions are, I think it was like something by 50 or something. I was like, wait, 50? That's
50
pretty big.
man.
Well,
Wait,
I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was pretty big. So I had to just sort of double check, and yeah, it was going to be a really big chicken
listen,
foot.
Ark. I have an idea. There's this cone model I have. I can smooth it out. I can texture it black. Just watch what happens when I stretch it out by its x and y axis.
Yeah.
Like I'm
So
assuming.
and
Yeah, go on.
I guess so it was a little bit bigger than I expected, but I think it works well because it's like a really big dramatic kick. It's like you're there and then boom, you just kick all the enemies out of the way. So I think yeah, even though I said it, I was not expecting the size. It's still a good size for it because it's really has a big impact when you kick people with it.
It really does. What about the feet? What'd you do for the foot? The giant hexagonal foot.
So I started off, believe it or not, with a dragon model I made for another group, and I started. That's how I started with the foot. I think I needed an extra toe, so I put an extra toe on it. I put a bit of ridges on it because like chicken feet, they're kind of
Hmm.
rough.
Like
And then
like
yeah, so
I know some chicken feet have like scales on them, or those curvatures. Do you ever think about adding
yes,
those?
well, I had to look up reference pictures, so I go on Google, search chickens, and then look at like a million pictures of chickens, and then just
Google just go to incognito mode. Incognito mode. Google Chrome.
oh,
Let me see some chicken
it's not even the worst thing I've ever searched.
feet.
Okay, no, there's a slightly embarrassing story. There was this one particular animal, one particular, I won't say which one is, but particular
Kangaroo.
Naruto tailed beast,
Uh,
and I didn't know what its butt looked like, so I had to search.
let me
Animal
guess.
butt.
Was it the giant ape with naked ass?
I'm not gonna say which one it
It
was,
was the
but
ape,
it was
wasn't
just
it?
it was hard to get reference pictures from behind, so I had to just look up pictures
Yeah,
of
I know the
animal
Naruto.
butt.
The I know some. We only know Karamas for fact,
This
and
is
we don't see the ass cheeks prominently of those two.
that's the hidden life of a developer. You have to look up embarrassing stuff if you just don't have the right
You gotta look up
references
them
for it.
asses. Let me see them
So yeah,
cheeks.
that yeah. So yeah,
Before you
that's probably
model
the most
anything, you gotta
embarrassing.
make sure you gotta look good with the proportions of the ants. It's the most prominent feature. I try to like whenever I have my friend Jay Wiley and we're doing Animal Crossing, I showed him like my fossil collection, and like I said, the one thing I'm missing in most of my fossils is their asses.
Yeah,
Um,
but
I
it's
think like
like
go on. So we were on the chicken foot. So you looked up pictures of chicken feet for references.
yeah, and I just put some I put some detail where I thought it should go, and Arkham was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And then we just did it. So there wasn't. I didn't. I think I had to do too many versions of that. Only 2 or 3 versions, I think.
So, I guess for the whole thing, when you after you model it all and then you put it onto a Roblox model, I want to
Hmm.
ask this: what was the hardest thing about doing the special move of the tentacle?
Um. Oh, so it was trying to get lots of tentacles without going over the
And then
resolution
you got to
limit. So
remember
that
this. Then like when you see it in action, the speed of how all those things work, and then like the red circle line that goes across each one of them.
yeah, I didn't do that stuff. That's other people's jobs. I
Yeah,
just made the meshes and sent them off, and they made it come to life. But that's one of the really
one of the things I did you just copy and or did you copy it from like the first move of Manifest, which was I'm trying to look here, the very first move, which was you just point your arm out and then tentacles come out of your arm. The
no.
Manifest grab.
Arkham came up with some ideas, and some of them he drew pictures of, like the blocking one, and also the I think the spiral one as well, the awakening move.
Oh yeah,
So we
that's
actually
fun.
drew reference pictures. I think he may have drawn another one. I can't remember now. But anyway, he showed me some reference pictures that he made himself, or just described them in words, and then I made it, and then he told me if I should change it or keep it.
Mm,
So yeah,
I gotta say here, when you did that clam, I want to know how, like, cause I'm looking at the clam right now. What was your favorite? Was that one of your what was your one of your favorite movies? Oh man, was it the clam?
my, the chicken foot definitely, the bird foot of inventions, because it's
I
just
think that's
like
a lot of people's favorites because oh my god, it just looks hilarious.
because if you go near one of the lights, the lights in the city, and you stand like behind it, and then you look. It's hard to explain with words. Basically, you can get 2 lights in one kick, and they're pretty
Oh,
decent space away. It's big enough to get 2 lights in one kick. So if you get trying to get your 500 smash lights, you can get like 2 in one go with that.
I guess I should also say, are there you now? Do you guys have any other quirk ideas that are
Yeah.
so?
So
You can
I've
just
meshed something else, and
you
I
can
can't say what it is.
you can't say what it is.
I
All
actually
right. You want to hint
no,
it?
I
You want to?
actually
Yeah, don't say it. Don't
because
say it.
I
What?
no, I actually assumed that it came out in the game, and then I just posted a picture, said, "Hey, is this in the game?" And then it got deleted. I was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have posted that." So yeah, I
Okay.
got moderated on for that.
So you hear, guys. We got some special things. Heroes Online isn't dead. Heroes Online is not dead. We got some special things in the works. You heard it here. You heard it here, folks. There's some special
Yeah,
things in the works for Heroes Online. It's not
for
dead.
sure.
It's not dead. They're keeping it in the shadows. They're keeping it in the shadows. But also, you guys are working on Shinobi Bloodline. You guys are also working on that
Yeah,
game.
it's like when we have a good bit of momentum going, we want to just keep it going, I guess. So if you change back and forth between different projects, it might not work as well. So at the moment, we're just trying to keep with our momentum and chug along.
Yeah, because I'm assuming with Shinobi Bloodlines, this is something Ark always. Ark is a fan of Naruto. He loves Naruto. Yeah, I know he does.
Yeah,
What was, and I understand that he really wants to do this Shinobi Bloodlines, and I can also assume that when he does do it, there'll be some backlash from Three Bros, of course, because again, they love their Naruto, but they're really horrible at business practices. But this is just off a tangent, I guess I should say, but I always found it funny. You know how much it must cost them each time they do those projects and scam people? It must cost them much more to like start a new project than the revenue they earn back. But that's just my
yeah, I'm not
opinion in
really.
general. Because like, my
Yeah, I'm not really
God,
sure.
it must like they're just like they must know that they would earn more revenue by sticking to a project. And I guess like that's I like how Art does his practices. He sticks to one project, and then when it has enough momentum, he starts a new one, but doesn't go so far into it to abandon his old project. And that's a good idea. You want to make sure you keep your first one still alive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, once
It's
again, I can't really say much about Caribou. It's partly I've stayed out of it anyway. I'm just
yeah, that's a good idea.
focusing
That's a
on
good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good
I'm
idea.
focusing on blocks at studios and just keeping my head clear. Just doing that.
Yeah. Where was there any time? Now I guess we should go back to this. What was the? What do you dislike about the community? What do you not like, or what you think you would like to change? You can name one thing. Yeah.
Uh, uh, there might be one thing. There are a few targeted types of people, I guess you could say. I probably shouldn't say
they're
which.
they're little.
There is a little bit of bullying sometimes.
Yeah, I
Not
can see
just,
that. I can see
yeah.
that. Even when it's
So
joking, there is a bit of bullying in the.
yeah, I've recently been trying to be a little bit more hard with how I moderate the Discord, but I can't go too hard on it.
Like I
Otherwise
can,
you get false
I'll
warns.
say this
So
with my with oh choking. With
you're right.
yeah, he's coughing. I'll say this with clear intentions, and this is just me being a bit truthful because I'm sometimes. I love the mod team. I'm great friends with them. I really like them. I love the admins. Though I
Mm.
will say this, I wish they were a bit more active because from what I've seen, they're kind of inactive a bit of the time. I that's just me saying. I would do wish
Well,
more. I do wish more, not like the devs or anything, not like this, not like you guys. And not the admins
uh,
either. Just I wish there were just like more than 2 or 3 mods just online all the time. But I know like they have it online. Though it is, I just find it
yeah,
funny. Like the one thing that bothers me, I guess I would say, is when sometimes people take their own rules, and I just wish that sometimes they just follow arcs. Because I wasn't in mod for a long time. I quit that because like I didn't really I I I I don't think I have patience that they do, which it astounds me sometimes that I do wish that they just follow Art's original rules, like one warn, then mute and stuff like that, instead of trying to give people second chances, because then that's gonna lead to people becoming stuff like that.
yeah. Well, with the first thing you're saying, basically at the moment, lots of people all around the world are having exams. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah. That
if
makes
you have to
sense.
do if you have to do exams,
The differences
and
between
there's
that,
also
between like me and you both are like in college or university, stuff like that. So like for me anyway, I'm already I've been already in my
yeah.
and like my because it also depends on classes and stuff like that. But like and I understand like the mods are also during their finals. One of the mods is like my best friend. He's in Sweden, so like he has 3 more days of his finals too. I'm also gonna be eating
Mm.
pizza during this podcast.
Yeah, studying is 50% studying and 50% recreational stuff like eating
Oh
or
yeah,
playing games
yeah.
or watching anime.
My motto is study first and then play games. Or like what I do is I play first and then study because in
Yeah.
my experience anyway, you retain more knowledge on the last day. The last day, even though it's not a great idea, but you remember stuff on the second to last day, the very last day, because even it's already fresh in your brain, it's stuck in there, and when you go to sleep, you're already thinking about it and dreaming about it and stuff like that.
Mm. Yeah.
One of the things I would say, so we've already confirmed this for people who are joining the stream. Mystic here has confirmed it for me. Dark Shadow, they're working on Dark Shadow. They're working
Yeah.
on
And
it.
it's going to be stronger at the night time. Yeah.
Yeah, it has a day-night system to it, so Dark Shadow is gonna be added. This is a confirmation. This is confirmation. So people who are doubting, you got something to look forward to. They're still working on Heroes Online. Don't doubt that. They have some stuff in the works. Mystic can't say it now, otherwise Big Daddy Ark is gonna slap his cheeks. So he's gonna come on.
Gee, thanks for that.
He's gonna just come on to this. He's gonna come on to this podcast saying, "Wait, no, you quiet you. You don't say anything. Come with me." My idea, I think for this podcast would probably be like, "Well, this is gonna be the Hero Cast. This is gonna be the nickname for it." I'm just gonna invite random people, ask them their opinions on this. But like, Is there any other opinion you want to say that you think that what was your most favorite moment? Art.
My favorite moment.
Yeah, what was the thing that you will always remember, and like what was your favorite thing that you did with him?
So it was the first time I saw my models come to life, actually. So it was when I made the Skeleton King. You know, I meshed it, I textured it, I sent it off to him. Oh, sorry, I rigged it as well. No, I didn't rig it, actually. Sorry, let me get it straight. I made the Skeleton King and I textured it and I
Oh
sent it to him.
sorry.
And then
this is just pause.
I didn't really.
This is just
And then that
pause.
was it for
Sorry.
a bit. And then I played the game. Oh, sorry, I saw Arkham's YouTube video first, and to see it come alive, it's really
Yeah.
cool because
Seeing your models come
when you
alive
make a
would be
model,
great.
it's inanimate, it's not alive, it's just dead still. And then you see it as a boss, and you know you can fight it, it can fight you, and it's just really cool to see it come alive.
Oh yeah.
So that was I'll
I
never
remember
forget
a
that.
lot
I'm
of
pretty
people
sure.
going ecstatic for about that, and like, did you make the Skeleton King's sidekick? Because the sidekick for that.
Oh, it's the same model, so yeah, I made that
Yeah,
one.
so if people don't know in the stream right now, I guess I should bring it out. The sidekicks. We got your sidekick right here, your little sidekick right there. He is the right there. Mystic here made the model for the Skeleton King. And I guess I should also say
Yeah.
this again for Dark Shadow. He's told me it works with the day night system, so when it's nighttime, people, Dark Shadow will become stronger.
Yeah.
I do want to ask this: can we fly? Is that gonna be a thing? I wanna be flying like an eagle. Make me an eagle.
I don't know. I don't
Damn
know
it.
about that. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I guess I should say this. Is there any other thing you want to say before we wrap this up?
thanks for listening. I guess that's it. I don't know. This is like my first podcast anyway.
Yeah,
So
this is my
I don't
first
even
one
know.
too, so like I don't either. But well, you heard it here first, guys. Heroes Online is not dead. They're working on Shinobi Bloodline, but from what we know about what Mysic told us, there's some secret projects in the works. Dark Shadow is going to be added. In fact, for what Mystic told me again, the model is done.
Maybe. Well, it probably needs work.
It needs
But
work, but
yeah.
it's made. It's made from what you told
me. Yeah.
The Dark Shadow model is made. They're still working on it, so don't. It's still being worked on, people. It's still being worked on, but it's made. It's made. It's gonna be stronger at night. So you got to imagine how hard coding that crap's gonna be, especially if you want to have it with the day-night system game. Because I'm imagining some modeling stuff like that and encoding stuff like that, and Roblox in and of itself will be pretty tricky. And you guys might take ideas like that out later on to make it more, because I'm like this isn't me saying it's gonna be in there, but I'm like imagining if it doesn't work out, you'll have to take it out, and like I'll be totally fine with that.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, we'll just see. Anyways, if this has been the first podcast, the first Hero Cast with Mystic. If you guys want to have any more or see any more podcasts like this, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified on more upcoming stuff like this. And yeah,
thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for listening, everyone. My name is Bosco8, and I will see you all later. Let's see this.
Goodbye.
Bye.